So I've been on this job for almost a decade, longest job I've held so far, and I'm starting to recognize when I'm burned out and I need to take a break. I was never the one to take days off. I even picked up extra shifts, but I didn't recognize the mental exhaustion that I was putting myself through. I'm an empathetic, socially awkward introvert, so other people's pain hits me a different way. I didn't realize that hearing so many stories would take the effect that it had on me, and I was storing that pain on top of my own pain, and that was so unhealthy that it just builds up and I'll finally explode. I broke when I had to deal with a woman-hating creep and two coworkers that decided they never wanted to show up to work on time, if they want to show up at all, but those are stories for another time. That was just a little backstory to explain why I'm so exhausted right now with the current story, and this is happening in real time, so if you're listening, you'll take this journey with me. It starts off at 5 in the morning. I came in on a weekend, so there's no office personnel. I get to work and my coworker informs me there was a fight on the 3rd floor between a mother and her daughter. The daughter being the leaseholder and the mother being the guest. The mother had to go. I ran the cameras back and know there were 12 police officers leaving the 3rd floor. Like literally they were coming in groups of 3s. Every tone group got off the elevator. There was another group coming up the stairs, and it just kept going. That must have been a hell of a fight for a woman that's just barely 4 feet and her mother that's only a couple of inches taller. Come Monday, our latest and already overwhelmed property manager gets wind of what happened and finds out that the mother was banned from the building. So now the question is, how does she even get upstairs? Given our recent string of incidents, a staff meeting is being set because it seems like someone isn't doing their job. Not wanting my coworkers to catch hell and avoid making my life more stressful, I run the camera back again to find out that the daughter was the one to bring her mother in the building. The same person that barred her is now walking her in. Only put my mind at ease to know that my coworker wasn't lacking on his shift that day. Dude is awesome, always 30 minutes to an hour early and looking out for me on days he knows I'm overworking myself. I digress. Meetings being set, tension is high, efforts being doubled, and stress is kicking in. Now the story begins. With all of these new tenants, their company feels they can navigate this building as they please. Not how this works. After a few different incidents, I was tired. Then one young lady and her 2 gentlemen friends came in. That's how I'm starting, because that's not how it ended. I asked her 3 simple questions. Who are you here to see? Do you have your ID? And is someone coming down to get you? All met with rudeness, arrogance, hints of smug and entitlement. Didn't say anything other than, I'm going to the 3rd floor. I'm still trying to get her info, or at least what apartment she's going to, when all of a sudden the door opens. As a tenant is leaving out, they rush through the door and hop on the elevator. Now, after the prior bullshit and the mini SWAT team, I was pissed and I wasn't so professional. I watched the camera to see where they went so I could go confront them. Again, not so professional. I went to the tenant's apartment and unleashed verbal hell on the girl and got excited when the dude stepped up, because I don't have to yell at you. I can actually hit you, even though I was legit considering throwing him out the window. I'm gonna get you sucker style, or Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince. The tenant was asleep and didn't know they were coming. Hell, they weren't even supposed to be in the building, so she was shocked to hear the demon unleashed in her home. Because she thought I let them up. I had to collect myself and leave after she reluctantly gave them a pass, and at that moment I knew I needed a break. I called that woman everything but a child of God, and I was about to launch her friend out of a 3rd-story window. I need to relax. It's not that serious. I step outside for some air, and about 15 to 20 minutes later they're leaving. I go back to the tenant's apartment and apologize for disrespecting her home and finished out the night. Very next day, my day off, I drove into work and explained what happened to the property manager. Expressed that it wasn't the tenant's fault and I overreacted. Told her I'm getting stressed and asked for a time off request to try and regain some type of mental stability so I don't end up in jail again. Another story for another time. My request was granted, but I had to come in on weekends, which I was okay with since most people aren't up moving around at 5 a.m. My plan was to get my home in order since it's been a couple of chaotic months since we've moved in. I wanted to get everything arranged, put my gym back together, and start working out again. First weekend of my semi-vacation, I go visit my brother after work because he wanted to kick it and he got me a gaming microphone. I get home that night, smoke with the wife and called it a day since we needed to be up early the next morning. We get up, go through our morning routines before work, and put our game faces on. My car was parked about a half a block from the building, due to shitty parking in this area, so I didn't think too much about it when I tried to hit my auto start with no response. Figured the car was just acting up and I'll deal with it when I get downstairs. We get outside to see my rear lights flashing. I tried hitting the lock and unlock buttons to no success. The closer I get to the car, the more noticeable the shadow is laying next to it. My entire rear passenger window was busted out and being held together by the tint. Just looked like someone tried to put a puzzle together on duct tape. I was fucking sick, still am. Now my wife and I are trying to figure out how we're getting to work. It's 4 a.m., nothing's open, car won't start even though I have the key, I'm unhinged. Reflecting on everything and feeling overwhelmed with life, I cried into a hysterical laughter, which I'm sure scared the fuck out of my wife, but we managed to get to our respective jobs. I get home to find my car in full shutdown mode. Whatever these fucking idiots did to my car, won't even register my key. Now I'm even more pissed. I have to pay money I don't have, to get a tow and find out what the fuck is wrong. I get to the dealership. They reprogram my key, but the car shuts off on them before they could get it back to me, so now there's another issue. All I wanted to do was take some time to clear my head so I could get back to the grind, and all I got was more stress, and I'm back to work but I have to take public transportation. I fucking hate public transportation. People are weird, some of them smell funny, and I get mad claustrophobic in a mobile tube full of random personalities. All of my coworkers know my story. They know how attached I am to that car, so for her to ask me what's going on with my car just to flex hers just hit me different. Again, she needs and deserves it. Again, I'm happy for her and she needs it. The layers of stress and timing just feels like everything was just being thrown in my face. Battling stress, depression, and anger issues, this just felt like added pressure. A day in the life, Kanye shrug.